It's debate night in eastern North Carolina. 4 candidates looking to unseat Democrat Don Davis. Lori Buckout.
The federal government has been spending money like drunken sailors.
Asa Buck.
We cannot continue to spin this country into oblivion.
Bobby Hennig.
I've served 15 of the 25 counties in this district. I know that I'm the one that's going to beat Don Davis, and that is our #1 goal, is to beat Don Davis.
And Eric Rouse.
I don't believe in Obamacare. I think we need to get rid of that, let the free market prevail.
All 4 vying for your vote in the Republican primary for North Carolina District 1. They're running to win a critical seat in Congress that could determine the balance of power. Live from Greenville in eastern North Carolina, Debate Night starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Debate Night in North Carolina. This is our second event for the Republican candidates running in eastern North Carolina's 1st Congressional District. I'm Henry Hinton with Interbanks Media, and we are live tonight from the WNCT studio in Greenville. You're also watching live in central North Carolina on WNCN CBS 17. For our listening audience, IBX Media's 100,000 watts talk combo, 96.3 and 103.7, is simulcasting the debate. So let's get started and head over to our moderators for tonight's debate.
Good evening, everyone. I'm CBS 17's Russ Bowen. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. I'm here alongside my friend for many, many years, 9 on your sides, Ken Wallington. So tonight there are 5 names that are on the Republican primary ballot in newly drawn District 1. The candidates invited here to tonight's debate met next door participation criteria. You can find that criteria if you want to read it on our website, WNCT.com or CBS17.com.
Let's get to tonight's rules. There are no opening statements from the candidates. Each candidate gets 1 minute to answer the question. If there's a follow-up or rebuttal, the candidate gets 30 seconds. When their time is up, we will all hear this bell.
And at the end of the hour, each candidate will get 30 seconds for a closing statement. This question is for everyone, and Ms. Buckout, you lead in our Emerson College poll, so the question will go to you first. North Carolina farmers say Trump-era tariffs have raised their expenses, and they've lost some $695 million in farm exports.
Here's what one local farmer, Pender Sharp, tells us.
China was literally ran off because of the Trump tariffs, and they quit buying U.S. tobacco, which gave us an oversupply of tobacco, and transfer truckload of tobacco was bringing $30,000 less than it did last year, all because of tariffs.
And Mrs. Buckout, again, we are starting with you. What do you say to farmers who feel these policies are hurting their livelihood? You have 60 seconds.
You know, I think that the tariffs are a temporary measure to address a trade imbalance that previous Democrat presidents have been putting into practice that have put us in a really terrible position in terms of tariffing our goods at ridiculous rates while allowing other nations to pour their cheap and their untariffed products into America, agricultural, engineering products, and all sorts of, household wares, et cetera. It's time that we level the playing field, and I know that President Trump is doing that, and it takes some time to level that playing field. We have been playing at a disadvantage for so long. I know he's having great successes with European countries. He's had success with Canada, and it's something that I believe we need to stay the course to even it out. President Trump is a master negotiator, and we're going to come out on top, and it takes a little bit of time to get there.
All right, Mrs. Buckout, thank you. We go now to you, Mr. Buck. You'll have 60 seconds, the same question. What do you say to farmers who feel they're hurting because of these policies?
Well, it's not what I say to farmers, it's what I've heard most farmers say to me. When I go around and I talk to people, I listen to their issues, and I like to hear what they have to say as opposed to what I have to say to them. And most of the farmers that I talk to across any spectrum is the difference with regard to the tariffs on how they're affecting different farmers depending on the crops that they're growing and that are being sold in our markets. But the farmers that I talk to, they tell me that they understand what the president is doing. It is about leveling the playing field, and the folks that I talk to understand that sometimes there has to be some short-term pinch in order to affect a long-term gain and level the playing field so that we can have equality across our markets with regards to our crops and commodities that are being sold.
Mr. Buck, thank you. To you, Mr. Rouse, the same question. You'll have 1 minute to answer. What do you say to farmers who feel these policies are hurting their livelihood?
Well, it's absolutely hurting their livelihood. I mean, that goes without saying. I've talked with numerous ones. I have a bunch of farming friends. I attend some myself. And let's face it, it is a pain. China pulled out completely. They're not buying. They didn't issue any contracts this year. But Trump is a master negotiator. He knows what he's doing. China right now imports to us about 63% of their GDP comes to us. So we have the advantage. Trump knows this. It's going to play out in our favor, and they're going to pick up. China loves our Eastern North Carolina flu-cured tobacco, and I think it's just a matter of time before it hits, and we're all in good shape again.
All right, Mr. Rouse, thank you. We'll go to you, Mr. Hennig, the final to answer this first question. What do you say to farmers who feel these policies are hurting their livelihood? You'll have 1 minute.
Well, it's what they say to me. It's, meeting with these farmers, they understand, we have a short-term pain for a long-term gain. We're presenting them with the bridge loans, $12 billion. There's another one in the pipe right now. That'll get them through to where we need to go. We need to stay the course. They understand we need to stay the course. In the meantime, we have to work on getting their input costs down. And that's what's killing them the most because of the tariffs that are hitting us. It's hitting them on their chemicals, on their pesticides, and it's hitting them on their seeds. So getting those costs down in the interim to get them across to where we need to go, we're going to be on the right track, and they understand that.
All right, Mr. Hennig, thank you. Russ.
After hurricanes, we certainly are still watching Western North Carolina recover after what it went through. And other natural disasters, North Carolina communities say FEMA has just been slow to deliver the aid. They say that they've been denied full federal cost sharing. They say they've experienced canceled grants that were already approved and buried residents in red tape. So the question is, do you believe the agency is fixable, or should Congress consider dismantling FEMA altogether? This question goes to you, Mr. Buck, first.
Well, I'd say as far as fixable, I mean, certainly FEMA's done a lot of good work over the years with regard to responding to natural disasters. We've certainly had our share of those in the eastern part of the county, of the state where we are. But like any other federal agency, they're not always very efficient and effective. And so with regard to providing assistance during natural disasters, it's like most anything else. I think most things should be passed down to the state level, where you have people who are more responsive and more accountable to the people. And so anything that we can push down from the federal level, most things, and I think disaster relief would certainly be helpful. We just provide that funding to the state and let the folks on the state level who are more closer to the people get that money out and get that relief out to where it needs to be.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rouse, this question now goes to you. Again, should Congress consider dismantling or fixing FEMA? You've got 60 seconds.
Well, sometimes you need to break something to fix it. And FEMA's definitely a candidate for that. They have been using recently, and I know this because one of my businesses, we do disaster recovery. The western part of the state's an absolute mess. It's so terrible out there. The roads and everything are devastated. And trying to get money through the state, through FEMA, is just not working. We've had programs where we're working with the state, and it's taken us 6 months to get paid. And the people are wanting the services, in need, but they can't get it. So sometimes you've got to break something to fix it, and that's what needs to happen with FEMA. I think we need to come in there and do a complete overhaul, reset it, and then get the money where it needs to be, and get rid of the middleman like the state. It needs to be directly working with the people in the communities.
Mr. Rouse, thank you for that answer. Mr. Hennig, same question goes for you. Should Congress consider dismantling FEMA altogether, or is there a way to fix it? You have 60 seconds.
FEMA's unfixable. I've been dealing with FEMA the entire time I've been at the General Assembly. FEMA takes 2 years to reimburse communities that put out money, whether it's disaster relief, whether it's nourishing our beaches, whatever it is. The bureaucracy is so bloated, it gets so convoluted, and they can't manage it. So there's no way to fix FEMA. That money needs to come to the states. Like anything else, that money is better spent at a local level, at a state level. We know how to manage these disasters. We've been doing it for 250 years. we're the best at it, and we know how to get things done.
Ms. Buckout, the same question for you. What would you do? Dismantle FEMA altogether or try to fix it within 60 seconds?
Years in the military taught me that the higher you go from where the rubber meets the road, the worse the problem gets and the less likely it is to be solved very, very quickly. I'm also a big believer in the 10th Amendment, which pushes most things down to the state level to handle. I know that President Trump, with his America First agenda, is big on cutting federal bloat and cutting federal agencies. DOJ had a big part of that. And I think pushing FEMA capabilities, pushing FEMA money, pushing FEMA responsibilities down to the states is a very important thing to consider. I think that's right in line with the America First agenda, and I think it gives North Carolinians the best chance to fight for their money, to fight for their reimbursement, and to fight for the relief that they absolutely have. I look forward to fighting for that in Congress and being the one to represent the folks who really need the relief, to get it to them in a hurry and cut through the red tape.
Ms. Buckout, thank you. Ken?
Hey, look, I've dealt with NCOR. That's the state's disaster recovery program.
I'm sorry, but we're moving on to the next question.
And no rebuttal then, okay.
We're moving on to the next question. If your name is brought up, then we can bring within someone's answer. That's when we'll ask if you have a rebuttal, okay? Ken?
Yes, our next topic for the candidates is rural health care. In the last few years, Pungo Hospital in Bellhaven and Martin General Hospital in Williamston have closed because they were unprofitable, partially blaming low government Medicaid reimbursement rates. These closures have reduced the access to real-time health care to thousands in eastern North Carolina. As federal dollars continue to decline, what is your solution for health care access for the people living in District 1? Mr. Rouse, you are the first to answer in this round. You'll have 60 seconds.
You got to have a free market. Obamacare is not working. We all know that. Anything that's subsidized that heavily is a disaster. And Obamacare has been a disaster. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one standing up here who pays for his own health care and not the federal government or local government or anything like that. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen what happens when my paycheck gets devastated because my premium went up on Obamacare and then I can't get the service that I deserve or I need or my family gets. It's been a complete disaster. It needs to be overhauled. We need to open up so we can sell across state lines. The free market system has worked for 250 years in this country and it will continue to work. And we need to make sure that we implement that. That'll help drive down and lower costs. So, okay, thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Rouse, thank you. We go to Mr. Hannig now. The same question for you. What is your solution for health care access for the people living in District 1? You'll have 1 minute.
Well, we're so inhibited in the state of North Carolina because of CON laws, removing the CON provision so folks can come in and they can be competitive in the market is critical for all of our rural areas in the north, in the east and in the west. So that's the first step we have to take. Without a free market, without us being able to compete, our prices are going to continue to go up. At the federal level, 2 of those hospitals are in my district. I've been working at the federal level, money from the big beautiful bill, there's $50 million in there. We're already reaching into those assets to help those hospitals reopen, making good progress. But we shouldn't have to fight that fight for every hospital in the state of North Carolina.
Mr. Hannig, thank you. Mrs. Buckout, the same question. What is your solution for health care access for the people living in District 1 here in eastern North Carolina? You'll have 60 seconds.
You know, thank you. For starters, I've been all over this district, and there are counties in this district that are among the poorest in the United States. They don't have access to health care. Hospitals have been closed. They don't have access to emergency facilities. And I see that a lot because there's not a tax base, there are not jobs, and people are truly suffering. We have to access the rural health care associations put forth in the big beautiful bill so we can help folks living in those communities. We have to push health care down, and what you have to have is an active representative in Congress who's willing to fight for that. You haven't had that here in North Carolina in the 1st Congressional District for decades. Nobody's been pushing funding down here. Nobody's been pushing jobs down here to create a tax base, which in turn is going to create better health facilities, better education facilities, better recreation facilities, et cetera. You got to have a fighter ready to bring those funds down and help open up rural health care opportunities. We need them desperately.
All right, Mrs. Buckout, thank you. We move to you finally on this question. Mr. Buck, what is your solution for health care access for the folks here living in District 1? You'll have 60 seconds.
Well, some of these counties have shrinking populations, and a lot of industry is left, a lot of jobs are going, a lot of people are moving away and not returning home to these communities. we have to have economic growth in eastern North Carolina, and we have to have growth in a lot of these smaller counties where they're losing industry and losing people. If these hospitals have lower census, they're not able to bill in the same way that larger health systems are and to generate revenue to keep their doors open. So we have to create an economy here that allows businesses to come in and start new businesses and provide jobs for people so that the people can stay here and work and attract more people to come here and spread the burden around. We also need to find ways of getting younger and healthier people on private insurance, getting people off of Obamacare, and try to get more people on private insurance so that burden can be spread around as well to reduce insurance rates.
All right, Mr. Buck, thank you. Over to Russ.
Inflation and rising costs, if we all know and have heard time and again across North Carolina, have taken a huge toll on working families in the eastern part of our state. According to our recent Emerson College poll, more than a third of those asked say the economy is their biggest concern above everything. So what steps would you do to address inflation and help reduce the cost of living in District 1? And Mr. Hennick, this is for you first.
Right. Well, we're already doing that. The president has been hard work for the last year working on reducing all of those costs. What the costs were a year ago to what they are today is drastically different. And we have to continue putting our American citizens first and make sure that they get the goods and services they need at an affordable price. Gas prices are down, the cost of basic goods is down, the cost of clothing is down. So we're going down across the board. And as long as we continue to do what we're doing, we're tracking in the right direction.
Mr. Hennick, thank you. Ms. Buckout, the same question to you. How would you address inflation and rising costs in eastern North Carolina? You have 60 seconds, rather.
Thank you. You know, there are a couple issues there. Number one, a big government doesn't have a revenue problem. It has a spending problem. You have to stop the spending that's bleeding America's dry, and that's taking money out of their pockets in terms of taxes every time you turn around. The drill, baby, drill. Actually getting back to American energy. We're beginning to feel the effects of that as gas prices go down, then other prices associated with products, with transportation, et cetera, those go down. The America First agenda, the tariffs are going to lead to prices going down on the products that we need, and putting Americans back to work are going to lead to prices going down. So everything that the American First agenda right now is doing is absolutely on track. We need to continue on that area, bringing back American energy, bringing back American jobs, and making sure that people can keep their money in their pockets instead of giving it to egregious taxes to pay for people who are not even citizens.
Mr. Buck, you have 60 seconds to address the same question.
Well, I certainly think that the president's doing a great job with working with the Fed to reduce interest rates and helping to control inflation and get inflation down. I just listened yesterday that inflation is at the lowest it's been in 5 years, and that needs to continue. And we need to continue getting energy costs down. Gasoline is at the lowest it's been in 5 years. And so our country is moving in the right direction under the leadership of our president. Obviously, the members in our party in the Congress need to support the president and what he's doing. And everything, you know, James Carville said it's the economy, stupid. The economy is important to everybody. Certainly inflation is important, but we've got to get our financial house in order in this country as well. Getting inflation down, we've got to have people in industries that go out and create new jobs, new industries, and get things going. But a lot of people aren't going to go out there and spend that money if they think that our country is going to continue spending itself into oblivion, and we got to get our debt under control.
Mr. Rouse, the same question for you. You have 60 seconds. What steps would you take to address inflation and bring costs down?
Follow President Trump's lead. Obviously, it's working. It is working. I mean, one of the things you don't hear as much anymore, or very little I haven't heard in the last 2 weeks, is the general press talking about affordability, because things are starting to come down. As gas prices are coming down, getting below, in some places below $2 now, that drives down the cost of everything. Everything comes by the road. It might move by rail here and there, but from rail to your local grocery store, that's coming by the road. And if we get those energy prices down, cheap energy equates into affordability. And that's what's happening here. You know, if we have better jobs, if people have better jobs and they have better paying jobs. That also helps too, because that stimulates the economy, and it is a trickle-down economy, like Reagan used to say, and that does account for things. And the more people that are working, the more affordable things become, because it's just more efficient.
Mr. Rouse, thank you.
We're going to continue to talk about the economy and specifically creating jobs in this district. Mrs. Buckout, we'll go back to you to answer first on this question. According to the North Carolina Department of Commerce, 2025 was a record year that included some 35,000 additional job commitments and $24 billion in capital investments from new and expanding companies. However, the vast majority of this growth was not here in District 1. We pose you this question: what company or industry would you target and use your influence to come to District 1, and why? We'll give you 60 seconds.
You know, thank you so much. I'm actually a proven jobs creator. I created my own business, hired over 150 combat veterans to come work that business, and it did very, very well. I've signed the front of the check and the back of a check, and I know how important a thriving business is to the ecosystem and bringing the tax base up and bringing municipalities. The job of a congressman is to be the advocate for that district. They should be out there looking at any possible sector that they can. And we have so many natural resources down here. We have lumber. We could bring defense companies down. We have other natural resources that could be used. Factories, small businesses, medium businesses. Frankly, the sky's the limit on what types can come down. And there's an extraordinary bunch. But what matters is you've got to have the energy to get out and go to the companies and go to the lobbyists and say, bring your business to North Carolina. This is a place where you have ready, willing workers, and you have folks who want a paycheck, folks who want to contribute.
Mrs. Buckout, thank you. We move to you, Mr. Buck. The same question. What company or industry would you target and use your influence to set up shop and bring jobs to District 1? You'll have 1 minute.
Well, I would say that I don't know that I would focus on any particular one. There's a number of different industries that could come here to Eastern North Carolina. We got plenty of space here for people to come here and set up shop, whether it's manufacturing or creating any number of different types of businesses. One area I would like to be interested in exploring, Craven County has a wood-fired power plant, and obviously that increases energy and helps to reduce energy costs in our area. And we certainly have a lot of land. We have a lot of natural resources which could go to help to fire those wood-fired power plants. And I think that's one industry that could come in here and help us in our energy sector and produce and create a lot of jobs for local people and help to keep those people here in Eastern North Carolina so that they can live and work and raise their families.
Mr. Buck, thank you. Mr. Rouse, we move to you as we continue to talk about creating jobs. What company or industry would you target and use your influence to bring to District 1?
Well, you got to go with what's got you to the table, and that's ag. Agriculture has been one of the biggest industries. There's over 5,000 farms tending over 2 million acres. In Eastern, just in this district, that brings in $3 billion. Tobacco's still around. We still produce 200 million pounds of tobacco. North Carolina as a whole accounts for 60% of the world's tobacco, or of the United States tobacco market. Eastern North Carolina, District 1 is 2/3 of that. So you got to stick with ag. Aerospace is huge too. Aerospace is coming in with all the bases we have and all the flights that are taking off. Aerospace is huge. AI is another big one that we need to focus on. Anytime you can get an investment from AI coming in and developing in your community, then that's a win for everybody. And Cherry Point employs over 3,500, 3,600 employees. It's North Carolina's largest single employer. We need to focus on them right now. All the money goes to the producers of the planes, and they don't spend enough money keeping them together and flying.
All right, Mr. Rouse, thank you. We go to you, Mr. Hanning. On the other side of the stage, what company or industry would you target, use your influence to bring jobs to District 1? You'll have 1 minute.
First off, because of the leadership in the General Assembly of North Carolina is number one in business 2 years straight. What I would concentrate on is our seafood industry. We have the best seafood in the entire world, and instead of knocking it down and trying to get rid of it, we should be propping it up. I've worked my entire career toward building the oyster industry in North Carolina. That was virtually non-existent 8 years ago. Now it is a thriving business, so that's very crucial. Ag is very important. Tobacco is not dead. You're absolutely right, Eric. So steel is not dead. There's manufacturing coming to Eastern North Carolina. There will be an announcement next week for Hartford, North Carolina. So that's coming. It's historical for Eastern North Carolina. And that's the work that I've been doing and working on in the last 2 years. Looking forward to that announcement.
All right, Mr. Hennig, thank you. Over to Russ.
You know, for us in the media, for people watching right now, heading to the polls or not able to vote at this point because of their age, and certainly for people all over this state, what I'm getting ready to tell you sounds like Groundhog Day, okay? So you ready? We are now in day 5 of a partial government shutdown. How many times have we heard that over the past couple of years? And what continues to be, this still sounds like we've heard this before, right? A stalemate between the White House, Democrats, as well as Republicans. The Department of Homeland Security, however, has not slowed down their immigration enforcement so far as part of this, but there is a huge amount of financial pressure right now on people who work for the government within Homeland Security, specifically some 5,000 North Carolina Coast Guard members, FEMA, TSA agents, many of whom, as you know, live paycheck to paycheck, right? So can you name one specific thing you would do to end this shutdown and bring it to a halt so the country and folks in Washington can move forward? Mr. Buck, we start with you. You have 60 seconds.
Well, I don't know about ending the current shutdown because I'm not up there. I'm not a member of Congress. But I can tell you one thing. If I get to the Congress, I would certainly support the fact that if there is a government shutdown, that no member of Congress receives a paycheck, and when the government opens back up, they don't get their back pay. If people that are working in the federal government and working in these industries and these important agencies doing the work of the American people, protecting our country, if they don't get their paycheck, then nobody in the Congress should get a paycheck either. And like I said, they don't get their back pay. When they got to start putting a little skin in the game themselves, instead of getting up there and playing these political games, which they do on both sides, mostly on the Democrat side, it's time for games to end. It's time to get to work up there for the American people and quit playing politics and keep this government open to do what needs to be done for the American people. The people in the Congress should hold themselves to a higher standard, and they need to put their pocketbooks up first if they're going to look to take money away from other people.
Mr. Buck, thank you. Mr. Rouse, I saw a big smile on your face when I asked this question, so let's hear from you. What's one specific thing you would do? You've got 60 seconds.
I'm pretty sure you can go 4 for 4 on this one with us, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can't have Congress getting paid if the federal government is shut down. You just can't have that. They should do what they're elected to do. You know, go in there and legislate and talk it out and work it out and get it and keep government going while they're fixing these problems. You can't just shut the government down because you don't get your way. That ruins everything, and it causes the problems we've got now. Trump bailed everybody out that was faithful. Let me put it that way. He gave them a bonus if they showed up for work and continued coming to work. So hopefully we're going to have that again, but we shouldn't be in that situation. It's got to be that if you want one thing that'll keep the government open, if the politicians don't get paid, then they'll keep the government open. I remember seeing one of them talking about, well, we've got to get paid, we've got to live, with total disregard for the hardworking people, the blue-collar jobs all throughout the country. And that's just absolutely insane.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Hennig, you sit in Raleigh many days facing similar disagreements, we'll say them. What would you do if you were in Washington today and translate your experience in Raleigh to the Capitol? You've got 60 seconds.
It comes down to, we all agree, Congress is broken. We have to hold them accountable. What's going on in Washington, D.C., when they can't come to us with a balanced budget, is an extreme disservice to the American citizens. We don't go up, we go up there to serve our constituents. And we're not serving our constituents, we shouldn't be paid. Absolutely, I agree with that. So holding them accountable is the #1 thing we have to do as citizens. And how do we hold them accountable? We set term limits on them. I've signed the term limits pledge in the House, and I served it in the Senate. I was endorsed by the term limits this year for this campaign because of my stance on term limits. So understanding you don't do your job, you don't get to stay. American people need to go vote and get the people out of there that are not doing their job and who are playing games with their money.
Mr. Hennig, thank you. Ms. Buckout, the same question for you. You've got 60 seconds. What specifically would you do to try to end this shutdown?
You know, I have served for most of my life as a servant and as a servant leader. So the concept of service is very important to me, and we need to bring that concept back to Congress. You're serving. It's a privilege to serve. You don't get to keep your paycheck if you're not serving. If you're not doing the right thing, you shouldn't get paid. By the way, and you shouldn't go in there expecting to stay around for many, many years. I'm a big proponent of term limits. We don't need professional politicians. We need servants who go up there and serve and then come back. Special health care for congressional members. Hey, remember when Obamacare passed and they got to have their, side deal where they didn't have to go for it at all? That's not fair. That's not being a servant. That's being a tyrant. We need to bring the concept of serving back to American congressional members. We're there to serve our constituents, not to rule over them.
Thank you. Ken.
Mr. Rouse, we'll start with you for this question. As we saw in late 2025, there was a surge of ICE agents in our state, in the state capital in Raleigh, and then eventually in Charlotte, our largest city in North Carolina, after the activity we saw in North Carolina as well as other parts of the country. Do you think the ICE approach has been effective, and what have been the most notable impacts? Your 60 seconds starts now.
Absolutely, it's been effective. I mean, you're getting out individuals who should not have been here to begin with. If you cross illegally, you're an illegal immigrant. And then you've got rapists and murderers and all the worst of society. Venezuela just dumped their prisoners out on us. You need to get them out. And they also compete against housing. When you have an influx like we did of millions upon millions of immigrants, then that competes for housing, that competes for jobs for our citizens and our people who are paying the taxes and all that. I make the comment, ICE has gotten a bad rap, and I think Trump ought to put national in front of it so they become nice agents. That's just one of the things I say. It'd be great to hear them on the news saying, well, those nice agents got hold of this murderer and deported him. And that's what we need. Trump knows what he's doing. He shut the border down immediately, and it paid off. The crossings have gone to virtually nil, and the man knows what he's doing. It's just been so long since we've had a leader. I don't think people recognize what a leader looks like.
Mr. Rouse, thank you. Over to Mr. Hannig now. You'll have 1 minute for that question. Do you think the ICE approach was effective, including here in North Carolina, and what have been the most notable impacts? Absolutely,
it's been effective. The number one task of an elected official is to protect their citizens. If we're not protecting our citizens, we're not doing our job. What President Trump has done exactly that. What the issue is the Democrats have been the resistance to that. The policies have not changed. They're the same policies they were under Biden, under Obama for decades. What's changed is the president. What was really popular when Biden and Obama were president, when Tom Homan was directing ICE back when he was with President Obama, he was getting bonuses for the amount of illegals he was deporting. Now he's getting crucified for it. The only thing that has changed is the president.
All right, Mr. Hannig, thank you. We'll go to you, Mrs. Buckout. Same question. Do you think the ICE approach was effective and has been effective, and what have been the most notable impacts? You'll have 1 minute.
Absolutely, I think it's effective. And I'm going to give you the perspective also, somebody who's a combat veteran and somebody who has fought actually up in the Pentagon as a Trump appointee as Assistant Secretary of War. From that point of view, you get to see a whole lot of what's coming over the border and the dangers of what's coming over the border to national security. It's an undermining of America. It's not just the fentanyl, it's not just the crime, it's espionage. It's folks who are coming in meaning harm to our country. So it's much bigger than what you see on TV, children being taken away. No, it's much more than that. And the job of the chief executive is to execute and enforce the nation's laws. The nation's laws still say that illegal immigration is exactly what it says, illegal. I am a third-generation American, and I am the product of legal immigrants. We and did it right, and it wasn't easy. I'm a big believer in what the president is doing right now as part of his America First agenda, and it's absolutely on track. It's making America safer.
Mrs. Buckout, thank you. Our last response for this question will come from you, Mr. Buck. Do you think the ICE approach was effective, and what have been the most notable impacts? 60 seconds starts now.
Well, speaking as a sheriff that's been in office for almost 20 years, I can certainly speak to this from experience. Certainly the ICE approach has been effective, and it has been effective not just in recent weeks and months, but for about 20 years. Local law enforcement agencies and sheriffs have been working with ICE for about 20 years in a number of different ways, assisting in immigration enforcement. The 287G program started in North Carolina in Mecklenburg County under a Democrat sheriff. That's where local sheriffs can come in and assist working with ICE to take people into custody, hold them pursuant to detainers, and have them removed from the country. What has changed is public safety and immigration enforcement has become political. And unfortunately for this country, the Democrats and the liberals have tried to make this a political issue, sow division between people, and they're out here trying to protect criminals and keep criminals in our country, which is just hurting the very people in their very communities which they act like they're trying to protect. It's got to stop.
Mr. Buck, thank you. Russ.
All right, let's get back to our farmers, because we can all agree, I think, even if we disagree about a lot of things in this room, that farmers in North Carolina are vital to our success. So with many farmers struggling, they have turned to using their land for other uses like wind or solar farms. So do you support using federal dollars to subsidize farmers so they can continue to grow their crops or to raise their livestock? Or do you support them leasing their property for solar and wind power? Mr. Hannick, this goes to you first.
Well, it's a property rights issue. It's their land. They can do what they want to with it. So if they can continue to make a living farming, then we should let them continue to make a living farming. If they can no longer farm because of what the federal government has done to them, whether it's tariffs or the price of their input cost, or we're not giving them a market to sell their products, then absolutely they should be able to if they want to put solar on it, let them put solar on it. But if it wasn't subsidized, they wouldn't even be thinking about putting solar on it. We wouldn't be having this conversation. We need to end the federal subsidies on wind and solar. If it is so good and so useful, it should stand on its own.
Mr. Hannick, thank you. Ms. Buckout, the same question for you. Do you support using federal dollars to subsidize our farmers and growers? In the meantime, what about leasing their land to solar and wind?
I'm just going to flat out say that the Green New Deal is a scam. It provides tiniest percentages of energy to the energy grid and brings a whole host of problems with it. When you put it on farmland, farmland becomes unusable after that. Food security is national security, and we need to do a better job supporting our farmers. Things like passing the Farm Bill, looking at commodities prices, looking at input prices that the farmers have to pay in terms of fertilizer, fuel, seed, all the costs that labor, all the costs that goes into running a farm. It's far more important to make our farmers profitable than it is to find ways for them to put up windmills and solar farms that do nothing but destroy the landscape and do absolutely next to nothing as far as contributing to the power grid. We need to be empowering our farmers to do their job, to farm, to provide food security to America, instead of going after that Green New Deal scam.
Ms. Buckout, thank you. Mr. Buck, you've got 60 seconds as well. I'll reiterate the question. Do you support using federal dollars to subsidize our farmers and growers? And what about one who chooses to use wind or solar on their property?
Well,
when I say use, I'm going to give you some seconds. When I say use, be contracted out or lease their land.
Yeah, well, here again, I mean, it's the landowner has property rights, and they can make those types of decisions if they choose to. I'm not in favor of any federal money, taxpayer money, going to any of these green new scam deals and these supposed energy systems that are ineffective and not as reliable as other energy sources. But certainly we have to do everything that we can to protect our farmers and do whatever we can to help them in our economy so that they continue to do what they need to do by providing food for our country. If you don't have, you can have the best army in the world, but if you don't have food, you don't have an army. And if we don't have good food, safe food, quality food, then we're going to have a difficult time in our nation. And so we have to do everything that we can through the Congress to support our farmers. We do need to pass a farm bill to help those farmers, cut regulation, and give new farmers increased access to capital so they can get their startups and get going, and get new farmers going and maintain and keep these family businesses going as well.
Mr. Buck, thank you. Mr. Rouse, it is your turn now. Do you support using federal dollars to subsidize our farmers and growers? And what's your opinion when it comes to leasing land to solar and energy providers?
Anytime the government gets involved, creates problems. Anytime the government starts picking winners and losers, then everybody loses. The only people who end up winning are the big mega corporations who can afford to have the lobbyists and everything in Congress and get what they want. And that's not what it's about. And you know, it is a property rights issue. It is not a farm and what the farmer chooses to do with his land or a landowner chooses to do with their land is their decision, and they should be able to make the decision that best benefits them and their family. Property is not an asset of the community. It's not an asset of North Carolina. It's not an asset of the United States. It is the property owner's asset, and he should be allowed to do what he needs to do to provide for his family and keep his children satisfied and fed. And so, yes, I am totally for keeping the government out of farming.
Thank you for that. Ken.
Mrs. Buckout, we will go back to you now. More than 10,000 active duty military members call District 1 home. There are thousands more across the state of North Carolina. With tensions currently rising with Iran, families across our state are bracing for the possibility of deployment. What is your clear red line for sending their sons and daughters into combat, and what limits would you put on that mission? You'll have 60 seconds.
You know, that's a very difficult question to answer without having the classified information on what's going right now, to tell you the truth. I have deployed. I've gone to war in situations where it was questionable if we should have gone or not, right? As far as a red line goes, that's something between President and his congressional advisors and the National Security Advisor, because they're going to have a much clearer picture of what's going on. You can Monday morning quarterback that, but until you know the actual situation on the ground, it's dangerous to assume. It's dangerous to make up ideas. I think President Trump has had a very good record so far in terms of Iran, in terms of Venezuela, in terms of all international interactions, of bringing in boots on the ground and bringing folks back alive, which is how you should be fighting when you want to do an international objective. You go in, you do it quick, you strike, you get your objective, and then you bring the folks home. I trust President Trump with our soldiers' lives, and I think North Carolinians can too.
All right, Mrs. Buckout, thank you. Mr. Buck, the same question to you. What is your clear red line for sending troops into combat, and what limits would you put on that mission? You'll have 1 minute.
Well, I mean, we have to depend on the president and his team and the leaders in our military and the leaders in our government, and especially our intelligence community, working with our military to make the decisions on what types of operations that they're going to carry out. Those are the folks who have the critical information to make those decisions, and I think the president has done a good job in not just wading into any conflict or battle that might come our way or that we could wade into. I think the president has done and his team have done a tremendous job in weighing risk to reward to make sure that we're able to go in and carry out missions that we're likely to prevail and keep loss of life as low as possible. And the president's done a tremendous job doing that so far, and I'm pretty sure he and his team are continuing to look at this situation in Iran and see how to best move forward at this point.
All right, Mr. Buck, thank you. To you now, Mr. Rouse, you'll have 1 minute. What is your clear red line for sending troops into combat? What limits would you put on a mission?
Well, first off, we have the finest fighting force in the world, hands down. I'm not going to lie, though. We did suffer under the last administration and the Democratic rule that was going on. You know, Trump came in, he ended wokeism and all the DEI that was going on, and I think that did nothing but strengthen us. The president knows, has been said, better than anybody, how to implement and deploy our troops. We just don't have the information right here in this group to answer that question with any certainty. You know, nobody wants their child to go off and die and not come home. And we proved we can do that in Venezuela, and I think Maduro found out, and the world found out. And there's a whole new set of respect that's come for America. And I don't think you're going to see anything happen as far as a war with Iran. They're just going to realize they can't win a war against us, and they'll capitulate.
All right, Mr. Rouse, thank you. Over to you, Mr. Hanning. You're the last to have this question posed to you. What is your clear red line for sending troops into combat? What limits would you put on a possible mission? 60 seconds.
Right, so having served in the Army and getting put on notice that we're going to be shipped overseas is very unnerving, so I sympathize with our military families and our military members. I also know that Donald Trump is the master negotiator. The last-ditch effort will be war. And what war looks like today versus what it looked like 20 years ago is completely different. It is a cyber war. It is a technology war. Ground troops are an absolute last-ditch effort or last-ditch move to do. I don't believe it's going to come to that. Of course, we don't have all the information, and I understand that. I just think that Donald Trump will pull us through this just like he's pulled us through every other one.
Mr. Hannick, thank you. Over to you, Russ.
So, Mr. Buck, we're going to start with you for this particular question. According to the U.S. State Department, $3.8 billion is given annually in continued military aid to Israel. Do you support this aid, and why, if you do or don't?
Well, I think it's certainly important to support our greatest ally in that region. That we've been allies with Israel for a long time, and I think it's important that we continue to support them, and so that they're able to defend themselves. They are the only democracy in that region, and I think it's important that we continue to stand with our Israeli brothers and sisters.
Mr. Rouse, do you support that $3.8 billion annually in continued military aid to Israel?
Israel's real easy to sum up. If Israel laid down their weapons tomorrow, they'd be invaded immediately. If every country surrounding Israel laid down their weapons tomorrow, there'd be peace. Israel got invaded. They were minding their own business. They got invaded, and their people were slaughtered at the hands of recidivists and just trash people. A belief system that doesn't work. They're a Christian nation. We need to stand by, we absolutely need to stand with Israel. They've been with us a long time. We've been with them a long time. They offer a piece of the world that stands for peace. They're just getting a bad rap right now from what's been going on because they're taking care of business. They're doing what they didn't start it, but they're finishing it.
Thank you. Mr. Hannick, you've got 60 seconds to respond as well. Do you support the $3.8 billion a year given to Israel in military aid?
Absolutely. We cannot have peace in the Middle East without a strong military in Israel. I've been to Israel. I've been to the Gaza Strip. I've been to the Gaza Strip when they're dropping bombs on the Gaza Strip. And I've visited the children that have PTSD already because they can only be 7 seconds away from a bomb shelter. And when that siren goes off, they have to hit a bomb shelter. And they're scared on a continual basis. We must continue to help Israel. They're our strongest ally in the Middle East. Without them, the Middle East will be chaos.
Ms. Bucka, same question, 60 seconds.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take this from and probably an even more in-depth approach. I've served with the Israeli Defense Forces. I've worked with them on cyber and electronic warfare. And frankly, everything that was just said is correct. They are the only democracy in the Middle East. Everything that we send them is very well used, but what we don't talk about enough is what we get back. They're a very powerful ally to us in the Middle East. They keep peace. They keep a lid on a lot of simmering tensions. They give us a lot of intelligence. They give us a lot of support coming back our way. So they are a critical ally to us, not just because they're a democracy, not just because they're good at what they do, but because they provide a whole lot of support back to us when it comes to keeping peace in a very volatile sector of the world. They're invaluable to us.
You guys have not really filled your 60 seconds in some of these questions. So I'm going to go back with a quick follow-up. If you could keep it as close to yes or no as possible, I would really appreciate it. Mr. Buck, I'm going to start with you. Should the United States recognize Palestine as an independent state?
No.
Mr. Rouse?
No.
No.
Thank you for your answers.
4 for 4.
Let's talk something as we approach Election Day. It's coming up very soon. I know you guys are looking at the finish line, and we thank you so much for being here with us tonight to educate the voters on where you stand as we approach Election Day. We've got a simple yes or no question, and Mr. Rouse, we'll start with you. If you do not win this primary, will you endorse the person who does win come November?
Absolutely. We got to do the tush push and get them across the line. We got to beat Don Davis.
And tush push, of course, is a Philadelphia Eagles reference. You're not an Eagles fan, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Panthers. Got to stick with my Panthers.
Flybirds.
Okay. Mr. Haney, the question to you. Will you or will you not endorse the winner if it is not you?
Absolutely. We all understand what the objective is. Take out Don Davis. We will rally together.
Mrs. Buckout.
Absolutely. I'm America first. That means North Carolina, 1st Congressional District first. We'll do whatever it takes to get us across the line and beat Don Davis. We've got to turn this place red.
Mr. Buck, that yes or no question to you. If you do not win the primary in here in a week and a half, will you endorse the winner?
Well, certainly that's a yes. I'm a strong Republican. I'm a lifelong Republican, and I fully believe that the Republican Party is going to be the only thing to save this nation, and we absolutely must control the Congress to keep the Democrats from taking over.
All right, thank you. Russ.
So I'm going to ask you a question that may be the most divisive in the whole state, East versus West. For us, many of us, there's a red line that goes through the city of Lexington, right? You know where I'm going with this, right?
We've got the best barbecue in the East.
You're on the right track. You're on the right track. And I'm going to start with you, Mr. Hannick.
Vinegar-based.
Do you have a favorite restaurant? I'm in Eastern North Carolina, in your own district, District 1, that serves the best barbecue?
I can't answer that question.
No, like a true politician, you must answer that question. Do you have a couple of favorites?
The Hannick Pad is the best barbecue in Eastern North Carolina.
And why is vinegar-based so much better?
The Hannick Pad doesn't make vinegar-based
What
barbecue.
do they make?
They make really, really good barbecue.
Interesting.
Come see me.
Interesting.
Oh, my.
Interesting. Ms. Buckout, how about you?
I heard that vinegar-based no, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Hey, so in my hometown in Edenton, we have the Old Colony Smokehouse. So I've had a lot of good stuff, Parker's, et cetera, but Old Colony, you go on down there, you get some of those ribs, it will change your life. It truly will.
Mr. Buck, how about you, sir?
Well,
This could win or lose a race for all of you.
I know.
well, and that's why I'm going to answer the way I am. I have no particular favorite. As much as I like to eat, I like all of them.
So you're a taste tester.
I like it all. I'm
Mr.
a
Rouse.
big fan of barbecue, and I've never had any bad barbecue in Eastern North Carolina.
Mr. Rouse, how about you?
Well, I'm going to tell you, best way I know to describe it is, when somebody asks me a question like that, I like the barbecue plate that's in front of me.
Good answer.
So run for seconds for all of you, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Corn sticks.
That's exactly where I was going to go. A follow-up. Hush puppies or corn sticks? Real quick. Mr. Hannick.
Hush puppies.
Corn stick, baby.
Hush puppies.
Hush
With
puppies.
plenty of butter.
No sugar in that hush puppy, though, because then it's done.
No.
All right, let's get serious again, folks. We're going to wrap it up in just a few minutes. So you've got 30 seconds for your closing remarks. Based on polling results, we're starting with Mr. Rouse. Mr. Rouse, you have 30 seconds for your closing remarks.
Well, just like to remind everybody, you can't spell America without Eric, so vote Rouse for the House. I grew up in Eastern North Carolina, lived in Eastern North Carolina. I've created jobs in Eastern North Carolina with the help of my wife, who I married. She's from Eastern North Carolina. Family farms in Eastern North Carolina. District 1 is what I'm referring to. And you know, I know what it's like to create jobs and sign that paycheck and feed the people and make sure they've got food on the table at the end of the week. It's a lot more fun to sign the back of a paycheck, but you know, we need a multifaceted candidate in Washington, somebody who knows how to work with people. I've been a commissioner for 16 years on a Democratic board, and I've been made vice chair, and I got that by learning how to work with people. You might not like what I'm saying, but I truly believe you appreciate the honesty. I'm running to flip this district because I want our children to be able to stay here in Eastern North Carolina and have good paying jobs and more of them, so they don't have to go to the western part of the state and enjoy that trashy barbecue.
Mr. Rouse, thank you. Mr. Hannick, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you for the question. I'm a proven leader. I've been working in Eastern North Carolina for 15 years, serving my constituents, getting work done, standing and fighting for them. I've stood in the ring and I've taken the punches. When people are coming after our folks in Eastern North Carolina, I've stood in the way. I've stood for our commercial fishermen. I've stood for the military. I've stood when they tried to raise our taxes by tolling our ferries. Whatever they're going to come at Eastern North Carolina with, I'm going to be there to defend it. That's what I've done. That's what I'll continue to do. It's the privilege of a lifetime, and I look forward to continue doing it.
Kim.
Mr. Hannick, thank you. Let's go to Asa Buck now. Mr. Buck, your closing statement tonight.
Well, I would just like to say to the people at home, who do you trust to get out here and work the hardest that they can? Number one, to win this race and go up against Don Davis. That is the entire point of this primary, is to take on the Democrat challenger. And I guarantee you that I will work harder than anyone around to go up against Don Davis, and every day he's doing whatever he's doing all around up in Washington, D.C. Between this primary and November, I will be working every day to get out here and earn the votes of the people of Eastern North Carolina. I'm a proven leader. I've fought for my constituents. I've defended the shrimpers. I've done everything that I can in my power to serve the people of my community for 19 years. I'm the longest serving local elected official in this race, and I think we need somebody in the Congress who understands what it means to be a local elected official who is accessible to the people, who can work to get common sense things done. I've got 19 years as a sheriff of doing that, a proven record, and I ask you for your support.
Mr. Buck, thank you. We now move to you, Mrs. Buckout, as we near the finish line of not only our debate tonight, but the finish line of this race. Your closing statement.
Hey, thank you so very much. So service is my life, all right? I grew up on a farm, served in the military almost 30 years. I'm a combat veteran, led soldiers in combat. I'm a professional leader. Then I ran a business. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I run a household. I know what it's like to fight for your country. I know what it's like to not back down. I'm a workhorse, not a show horse. I've been all over this district. I'm ready to beat Don Davis. I'm ready to get up there and fight with President Trump. I've already done that. I have served side by side with the president in his administration. He tapped me to come up and fight with him shoulder to shoulder, one of the greatest honors of my life. And now I'm ready to take that honor and fight for the people of Eastern North Carolina with President Trump shoulder to shoulder, because that's what it's going to take. We need to have the America First agenda backed completely. I'm the one to do it. I'm the toughest one on the stage. I'm the fighter, and I'm ready to keep North Carolina, and take care of the folks in Eastern North Carolina.
I got to hand it to you. You've probably broken a record for staying on time. We appreciate it. So do people at home that you stay within that time and got to the point. So that's all the time we have, though, for tonight. Now, everybody at home, it's your opportunity to make your decision as to whom you want to represent them on that fall ballot against Don Davis.
And early voting, as we know, is already underway. It continues through Saturday, February 28th. If you're using an absentee ballot to vote, you must be back at the election board office by 7:30 at night on March 3rd, not postmarked, but at the election board office.
And March 3rd, of course, is the date for the primary election. Will we know the result that night, or will it be so close we're scratching our head for several days?
We'll know.
We've been there one way or the other, right? That's when we'll find out who will face Democrat incumbent Don Davis in November. Again, many thank yous to all of you for being here. It's a great service to the public, and we much appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for not only coming here to our station and to be able to learn more about you. I know the viewers at home listening on the radio as well are so thankful that you're here, so thank you. We want to remind you, if you want to go back, if you want to watch again, if you want to listen again, this debate will be available online, WNCT.com later tonight, CBS17.com later tonight.
And CBS 17 Plus.
Yes, and WNCT 9 Plus, our new streaming channel. Don't forget that. It'll also be on IBX Media app for those wanting to listen to this. Maybe a great podcast style thing in your next car ride, just to learn more about these candidates. Many ways to go back and listen more as we get much closer to Election Day.
Thank you.